Okay, welcome to the Marketing Management Unit 4, third P in the marketing mix presentation lecture, and the third P is place. So we've already discussed product, which is what we are selling. We've discussed price, which is how much we are going to charge. And the next one is going to be place, which is how are we going to get our product to the consumer. All right, when it comes to place, the questions that you need to answer, the biggest one, actually probably the only one, is how will you get your goods and services to your customers? There are a number of different options available to you as a marketer. You want to make sure that your product is available when and where customers want it. Make it easy for them to be able to access and purchase. This is also known as distribution. And when you distribute a product, it means that you are moving it around into different places in order for your customers to have the opportunities to go and purchase these products. So we'll talk about different forms of distribution as it relates to the place P of the 4 Ps of marketing. Channels of distribution. A channel of distribution is the path that a product is going to take from the producer to the final user. There are two ways of establishing this in getting that product to the customer. One is a direct channel. A direct channel is going to move the product from the producer to the customer with no in between, no intermediary. An indirect channel, which is another option, employs intermediaries to move the product between producers and final users. So these two different channels of distribution are going to have their pros and their cons. There's going to be advantages to using a direct channel. There's going to be advantages to using an indirect channel. And depending upon your product or service that you're selling to the customer, one of these two channels is probably going to be your best bet. Now, there could be situations where direct channel is not the best, but an indirect channel is, and there are situations that are vice versa. So let's take a look at this a little bit further. Okay, so in a channel of distribution, getting the product or service from the producer to the consumer. The top one, this one here, producer going directly to consumer, is going to reflect direct distribution. Now, indirect distribution is going to be the next two. The retailer here is an intermediary to get the producer's product to the consumer. Adding another intermediary known as a wholesaler is another form of indirect distribution, in which case the producer gets to the wholesaler, which goes to the retailer, and then finally goes to the consumer. So direct, and then the next two, indirect. This is how that would work. These are the examples of the intermediaries that make a distribution channel direct or indirect. If you have intermediaries, you are indirect. If there are none, you are direct. All right, so if we take a look at these channels a little bit further, we have the top one here, direct, bottom one here, indirect. So where are you in the channel could also determine what the cost of your product is going to be. Now, if you are going to set a price to sell to the consumer, a direct channel, when it goes directly from the producer to the consumer, does not have these intermediaries in here, in which case the product is going to be marked up so that each party involved profits on the sale of this product. So if it goes directly from the producer to the consumer, say for example a direct purchase through a producer's website, then there is no intermediaries that have to make profit on getting the product to the consumer. Whereas down here, producer goes to wholesaler. Wholesaler is then going to mark it up to sell it to the retailer so that the wholesaler makes money on the transaction. Then the retailer is going to mark it up to sell to the consumer, so the retailer is going to make profit on that sale. So raise and lower the cost of the product. It can also affect potential risk of loss or damage, and then determine how quickly your product reaches the customers. So again, advantages and disadvantages to each. Consumer going directly to the producer or producer going directly to the consumer. There are advantages to that. And the disadvantages is you're not going to have other intermediaries who can get the product to your customer when and where they want it, say in the form of a retailer. But again, there are advantages and disadvantages to each of the channels of distribution. All right, let's take a look at distribution intensity. So if it's an intensive distribution, that means the placement of the product in all suitable sales outlets. It means that this product is being launched, it is out there, it is getting to the customer in as many possible ways that it is absolutely necessary or is available to that producer to get that product to the consumers. Selective distribution, this is going to limit the number of sales outlets in an area. And why would you want to do this? It could be a form of test marketing. Maybe you want to see if it's going to do well at particular places before, or in a particular geographic area before going all out with an intensive distribution philosophy or process. And then there's also exclusive distribution. This is going to limit the number of outlets to one per area. So depending upon how quickly, how determined, I guess, you are as a producer or a marketer to get this product to your customer is going to also determine how you are going to distribute the product, whether or not you're going to do it intensively, selectively, or exclusively. All right, transportation. How will your goods be shipped? Obviously, there's a number of different possibilities: air, rail, and truck. So if we take a look, truck, train, airplane, ship, and even pipeline, this is going to affect how fast your product can get to the consumer. If you are producing a product, say, on the East Coast and wanting to sell it on the West Coast, and you choose your transportation medium as trucking, it's going to take 3 to 4 days probably for that truck to be able to get loaded up, travel cross country, get it to the retailer, get it unloaded, get it priced, and get it on the shelf. Now, rail could be a little bit faster, could be very similar depending upon how many stops the train's going to have to make on its way through. A direct flight using an air parcel service such as UPS could be the best direct route or the fastest route of getting it, but also all of these different transportations are going to have different costs associated with them as well. So determining which is going to be the best for you is definitely a decision that needs to be made by a marketer when you're determining cost over revenues in order to maximize profit. Okay, the location of the business. Once you've selected the location near transportation routes, this is going to allow the customer to easily access the store, be able to get to your product as soon as possible. Easy entry into the store, hours of operation, and where the products are located in your store. These are all examples of marketing. Now, when it comes to a retail store, those layouts in those stores are not by accident. They are done with purpose. There is a reason why certain products are placed in certain areas of the store. I've used this example before, and I will continue to mention it in a grocery store. Milk and bread, eggs, pretty common groceries that people buy on a daily basis or at least on a routine basis, always in the back of the store. Not by accident, on purpose. Forcing people who want to buy those items to have to walk through the store and possibly see other items they might want to purchase. All of these things are thought of, researched, and then put into play to maximize the customer's experience and also maximize the opportunity that they have to purchase products. Now, determine the place. We are going to watch this later on in class. This is a video, so we're not going to watch it here, but we will watch it later on and have a discussion on it and do a couple of activities in regards to it. Okay, so this concludes the place presentation lecture. Please make sure that you go back and go through the notes. You should have had them with you as we started this, and then fill in the notes as we have gone through. If you need to, go back and review the slides. I will see you next time we meet in class, and I will see you back here next time for the promotion presentation lecture.